You're watching Stuck in the Middle podcast. I am Reflex. This is a platform for entrepreneurs, innovators, creators of African descent. We hear stories, ideas, and experiences on how we can break the barrier. So if you like what you hear, please go to our online store, sitmpodcast.com/store, and support us by shopping some merch. We greatly appreciate it. That means a lot. We've also partnered with Perfect Office Solution to produce this very episode. They provide office space for entrepreneurs in the DMV area in over 7 locations. So if you're looking for professional, flexible, affordable office space, save you some money, hit them up, let them know we sent you. Get 10% off your monthly lease if you use promo code SITM podcast. So save some money on some perfect office space. Hit up Perfect Office Solution. I got a special guest in the building. I'm excited for this, man, but definitely want to thank everybody who listens on a weekly basis. We appreciate y'all. Screenshot, send links to your group chat, social medias, SITM podcast. We're on all social media platforms, and we appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button too. Listen,
yes,
in the
sir.
building today, my guest in the house today is an influencer, an entrepreneur, an engineer, and the founder of Etape Water. We got Shawn Etape in the building, yo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here.
Man, welcome, bro. You look clean, man.
Appreciate it.
I want to start like this. You know, it's popular to say the best way to predict the future is to create it. Now, what was it that made you say, listen, water is something that we absolutely need to live on or live with? I'm going to take that, put it in a bottle, and sell it.
All right, so the story behind the water is very deep. Some people know, some people don't. I have an article on my Instagram that tells how the whole story and everything of the water began. Water, everybody needs it. The body is 90% made out of water, so like it's something that everybody in the world can benefit from, and it's also keeping you healthy. Your pores, your hair, everybody needs water. So.
Yeah.
Even before we even get into the whole story, I just was looking at what is necessary out there that I can do that's different, and that's how the water even began. But the whole story behind it, started with me moving to Atlanta. My aunt was diagnosed with cancer. She had years ago, they gave her like a few months to live, but she stayed like 10 years after that.
Wow.
She changed, her lifestyle, what she was eating, what she was ingesting, especially water was a big part of it. So this is also like, something that remembers of her as well.
Man, so Etape Water, from your last name, what is Etape Water, if I can call it that?
It's you can't even put it in a box. Etape, right? When you hear the name, you think luxury. You just think something is different. I was thinking like, okay, I want to create something, but what can I really create, and how can I, also build a legacy, right? I'm very big on legacy, so I'm like, I went through so many different names, and I'm like, you know what? Why not just use my last name? That's legacy, right? It's different, and also, right now, perfect time for it because it's culture. Everybody's big on Afro culture, and I am African. I'm proud to be African, and how I was brought up and everything. So this right here is just so many things in one. Yeah.
So you had the idea, we know you as a businessman, everybody who knows Shawn Etape, as a business person. And they got, like the other water brands out there. He was like, I'm about to break into this water industry. Yeah. How did you, where did you start?
Well, like I said, moving to Atlanta, I've always been, connected with nightlife. I've been connected to events, spacing, and just different things. And I was looking at what my niche could be. I go out to parties. I'm not necessarily a party promoter. I'm not, a clubber like that. I frequent the club, but I was looking and seeing, okay, what can I bring to the table?
People get thirsty in the club.
Yeah, they do. And if you notice, a lot of people have like the deer parks and stuff like that. A lot of time they're drinking it by like the bathroom and they throw it away, or it's crinkled up and it looks a certain way. I'm all about presentation. Presentation is very key to me. I'm all about clean, neat, and sophistication. So when I was designing the bottle and the logo and everything, that's what I had behind that.
Who's behind this? Who's behind the...
I have a huge team. Even before I even want to start, like everything around me is not just me. It's a team, and I'm all about elevating my people at the same time.
Yeah. Where's this water tapped from?
All right,
if no pun intended.
It's actually in Georgia. It goes through a 10-step process of reverse osmosis, a purification process to give you a clean tasting water at the same time. It is really good.
Hey,
Yeah.
I want to taste this joint.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna make sure send everybody
Uh-huh.
some water so you guys can taste it first.
So what is there like a physical place I can walk into right now? Give me some Etape water, get like a crate or you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
actually working on it right now. It's mostly online. Instagram has been number one for me, even how the product drops. So I'll give you a story behind that. So I created it. I had a sample. I had a friend. She's a photographer. I said, hey, have you ever done product photography? She said, yeah, here and there. I tried it. I said, hey, I have an idea. So I gave an idea. I described kind of what I wanted. And she took a photo. She sent it to me. I liked it so much. I just dropped it on my Instagram. I didn't say anything. I didn't say coming soon or anything like that. This was in November
Of what year?
of last year.
Okay, yeah.
Literally 300 people reposted it. So I'm like, wow, now I need to have a brand. Like a lot of people are supporting me because like a lot of times you don't know, like there's a lot of people behind the scenes that support you. Yeah, there's haters, there's people that you know, people are going to be human, but at the same time, people were supporting 300 people reposting. I'm like, you know, I need to have a product now.
Man.
So I spent my Thanksgiving creating a website, a whole platform, like creating it from scratch. I do IT, so I'm like, hey, why not just create it on your own instead of outsourcing to people? So that's what I did.
Man, I want to so while we're talking about creating, talk me through the production process. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's based in Atlanta. Why Atlanta? Did you spend some time there? Or?
Yeah, I actually full time. I was living in Atlanta. I'm transitioning to the DMV right now, but I still have my place in Atlanta. So I was living there. I was just able to find, what I was looking for, like a warehouse that I can get everything I need. So
And so like the production process is it like ready or
yes. So what? Right now, I'm actually working on getting it on Amazon. So very, very soon, you'll be able to go on Amazon and type in Etape water and be able to shop there. But right now, the process is it's a work in progress.
So it's an e-commerce like business only.
Yes, it's an e-commerce business, and I did it purposefully like that
Why is
because people like exclusive. You go to the club, you have a section. You're cool, right? You have the section, you have the ropes. You're standing back there with a bottle. Everybody else is like looking at you like, so everybody wants, exclusive. So when everybody can't have their hands on it, they want it. So
I peeped that. So, IT, I want to get to know you a little bit. You mentioned your background is in IT. What branch of that?
I work for the government in a classified space, so I can't talk exactly what I do. I'm a database administrator by profession. How I got into that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. I was a science background. I was biochemistry. I was going to med school. But, African parents want you to go into that. But I'm just really good with technology. So I got into that space. I love it. I travel a lot for that. But it also opened up my mind. I think differently from most people. Like I look at things in a grand scope, like a big picture. Because when you want to solve a problem, you don't just look at, hey, what's going on? You look at the whole thing. It's like IT. I look at it like a human body, right? Every piece of the body works with each other. So that's pretty much.
Nah, I dig it, man. You have some hot water right there. I don't know what the heck you about to do with it, bro.
All right.
While we're still on that production phase, I don't want the hot water to get cold before you do the magic.
Yeah, so all right, I have a mug that I just created right now. It's a magic mug. It's matte black when you get it.
Well, you created that mug.
Yes, I designed it, and just watch.
Oh shoot!
Just watch.
Just gonna let that sit right there.
Just let it sit. Just let it sit.
What's about to happen? Oh!
Just let it
Hey
sit.
yo!
Just let it sit.
What the heck?
Just let it sit. I'm all about creativity and just being different.
Yo, there's some letters coming up. What is
Yeah.
this thing?
Think, pray, manifest. This is 3 letters. I write this. Like I have like sticky notes that I put in different places. It might be in my closet or somewhere. Like it just reminds me to always stay grounded. So I think before I do anything, I think about it, I pray about it, and then I manifest it. So I'm gonna turn that around so you can see that.
Sheesh. Wait, yo, where the heck you get this idea from for this mug? I want.
It's crazy how I think. Like at night, instead of me sleeping, ideas just run in my head. Like I sit there and I just start creating. I start thinking of something that nobody is thinking of or doing. I mean, yeah, people are doing mugs, but I'm like, okay, what can I do?
Yeah, so a
differently?
little sophisticated differently.
Yeah,
So what kind of like talk me? Do you get this with the water or
That
is this
you can
something
get
else
that
that
if
you're
you
working
go to
on?
ETAPÉwater.com. I have different products on there. I also have iPhone cases. I have a few other things that are coming out. I have a flask that's dropping soon. It's really dope flask. Something you can take to concerts, parties and things like that. It's also very sophisticated looking. I didn't have any with me right now to bring, but
I like how you're setting everything around, you know what I'm saying, like the water, you know, the flask, cooling, heating, and then now we got the mug. I want to ask you though, you know what I'm saying, like on your website, ETAPÉwater.com, you focus on bridging the gap and, you know what I'm saying, like the efforts to providing high quality water to people who are less privileged to have that clean water, and also like, you know, people who are flourishing. How exactly you doing that?
it's just a mix because I'm a mix of every environment. I've lived in every environment possible. Lived in the hood. I've lived in Africa. I've lived in, I've lived wealthy at the same time. I've lived, so I know how to bridge that gap because I am a product of my environment. Especially a lot of people don't know, like living in Africa, there's two sides of it. Like some people think that you're living with, animals and things like that. No, it's not. But it's not like that. I've lived in where we had a compound, we had a gate person, and I've also lived where you walk miles and miles of school, and the village where, it's just I just know what people need, and everybody needs water, like I said, right? At the same time, it's also showing people that there's also there's something different out there. Yeah.
Where were you born?
I was born here.
You're here in the States?
Yes.
Where your people's from?
My people are from Cameroon, 237.
237.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
you got siblings?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of siblings. Father was a Rolling Stone.
Hey, say less.
Man.
You got a twin brother.
I do have a
Is
twin
he
brother.
involved with like the business,
Yes,
or he got his own thing?
He is. Like, so my brother is he's quiet, but he moves like with purpose, right? He's like a behind the scenes guy. He's not gonna say too much. I'm like the out there, I'm talking, I'm da-da-da-da, but like my brother makes moves.
Yeah.
And he's Etape is us. It's not just me, right? We
I
have
did see that on your social media
Yeah.
one time. You like people always ask who's behind it.
who's
Yeah.
Etape, and Etape is us.
Yeah.
Right? So, but he doesn't like to be in the camera, so it's cool. I'll do that. It's a perfect balance having a twin. We're Libras. I'm all about balance, right? So it's perfect.
Man, are you married?
No, I'm not married. I'm still looking for the
DMs
queen.
open?
Oh, my DMs right now, if to be honest, yeah, they're open, but there's a lot going on.
What kind of a lot, yo?
It's a lot. It's just a lot. I have a lot of friends in there, and I have a lot of, people.
So they open though, ladies.
They're
you know What
open.
I'm saying?
They're
Slide,
open.
don't break your leg. You know what I'm saying? What's your favorite restaurant? I'm just getting to know you right now. What's your favorite restaurant to eat at, and what city?
All right, my favorite restaurant is a spot in Atlanta called Divine. It's a Mediterranean spot. I love the service. I love the food, and it got me into lamb chops, right? Growing up, we did eat lamb, but not really like as much. But they have really good hookah. It's a nice vibe. It's sophisticated. You walk outside. It's not like, oh, you're in like this big building. It's a nice like house, but you see Lambos in the front or Rolls Royces in the front. You go in there, they're like, hey, how you doing? They look at personable. I'm all about great service. I'm all about being personable at the same time, having a good time.
Yeah, you've lived in a lot of places, like you
have.
mentioned. I know, and you transitioning right now to the DMV. But what's your favorite city in the United States? I can say Atlanta.
A lot of people ask me that question. I don't really have a favorite city. I have favorite parts of every city. I've lived in Ohio. I've lived, briefly New York as a kid. I've lived in the DMV, all over DC, Maryland, Virginia. I've lived in Albany, Georgia. I've lived in Atlanta, Georgia. So every place has something that I like. I'll talk about the South. The South is very different from me. Going down there and you see people that just know how to enjoy life without forcing it. On Saturdays we would go like canoeing or fishing or hunting. Like I never hunted ever. Like you up north we don't hunt, but down there like that's something they do for fun. You hunting deer, like you climb up in the tree, you have a rifle, you're sitting there, it's fun. Atlanta, the nightlife is dope. The music, you get to meet a lot of people, network. It's like a black mecca. I love it. DC, it's a different kind of person here too. It's a hustler. It's somebody that moves with purpose. A lot of people that are grinding, you know, got a lot going on. So I love every city. Every city has something I like. Ohio was a time I didn't really like Ohio. No shade to that, but Ohio State is dope. I love Ohio State.
What's bringing you around? You know, saying the country is it just a job or the hustle,
Yeah,
the business?
I was really big. I was a contractor before I went private sector. Now back to a contractor again. And contracting life, a contract can be 3 years. It can be 5. It can be 8 months. So I was going wherever the bag was at.
How do you balance? You know, what I'm saying, like I don't know if you want to call it a 9 to 5 and the business move that you got going.
I'm glad you asked me that question. I'm very big on balance, right? I feel like God purposely brought me in October, like, and me being a Libra, like my life is all about balance and scale. Like, I try to balance everything. The 9 to 5, I like it because it's basically like acting, right? Every day to me is like an act. You wake up in the morning, it's like cut, like, or it's action, right? And you wake up. I go into a job, you know, you have to be professional. I wear a suit to work. I have an office, you know, I'm dealing with data. I'm dealing with all types of, you know, government things that are really dope when I'm learning and expanding my mind. I'm using my brain, and my brain is constantly flowing. And then I leave, and then I drive home, and I'm thinking about my business. So the amount of hours I've spent on my 9 to 5, I spend on my business. So like that's literally how I take it. Like if I'm spending $1 to turn up, I spend $1 to build my business, and I just do 50-50. Like, and then now I'm starting to focus a lot more on my business. You know?
So talk to me about the, you know, some the financial side of the business and the type of what I asked earlier about. You know, you had that vision and the idea, and you said, "Listen, I'm going full throttle." Talk to me about the financial side.
All right, being an entrepreneur is hard, right? I'm not a full-time entrepreneur yet, which I am striving to get there. Everybody, I think, should, but not everybody is meant to be in that space. But it's expensive. The good thing about being in IT, it gives me a platform to be able to fund my entrepreneurial ventures. So I love it, because if I didn't have that, because I take a lot of risk. I take a lot of risk. The average person wouldn't do what I do. I spend a lot of money to make a lot of money, but scared money don't make any money. Like you hear that in the streets, right? But that's real.
Elaborate further on that. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned you spend, if you turn it off spending $1, you spending $1 in the business. What are your fears, bro? When it comes to, you know, not only just finances, but in life in general.
My fear is not being successful. I have a lot of fears, actually, right?
It's natural to have
everybody
fears.
has fears and insecurities, but with me, my fears are what push me the hardest. Like, I dream really big. Like, to the average person, if I tell you my dreams, you're gonna be like, whoa, right? Like, most people want to live comfortably. Like, they don't think beyond what they see. But when I see people like me that are doing the things that I like, why not? Why can't I do it? That's how I think. So back to, like, you know, the financial part of it, I take risk, and I'm glad I have, you know, a job and a career that can, you know, help me, you know, like I have steady flow of income coming in that helps me do this, because it's a lot of saving, it's a lot of, you know, betting on yourself. Yeah.
You know, when we look at social media, right? A lot of stuff on, you know, social media is the great side. You know what I mean? Especially you being an influencer, you know, which we're gonna get in a little bit. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, like, just home, because stuck in the middle, we, you know, focus on, you know, like the back home and here, you know, the continent and diaspora, you know, the 9 to 5 and in the business and juggling and being in the middle and breaking out of those barriers. So what do you struggle with? You know what I'm saying, like that we might not see in front of that, you know what I'm saying, flick or whatever.
I don't really get that much sleep.
That's real.
I struggle with a lot of that. Then it's also struggling with, like, trying to know who's really out there that is supporting you, or like it's for you or not. Because a lot of times, a lot of people around you will want to get put on too, right? They see you doing big things, they're right there, and then all of a sudden, when you're like, you're not lit, or you're not like popping, they're nowhere to be found. Like, you don't have the people that hit you up like, yo, everything good? I do have those people though. Like, I have brothers that call me like, hey bro, forget all the stuff that's going on. How are you mentally? I have those people. So it's all about having like a great system, a great support system around you. It's tough.
That's dope. That's dope. Like, I want, you know, saying, hone in on that. I just want to read some, you know, say, like I mentioned, talk to Shawn, the influencer, with over, you know, 10K followers, 60K engagements, 3K weekly profile visits. Now this is, you know what I'm saying, like I feel important as far as like how do you want to influence the people that are engaging with you, the people that, you know what I'm saying, like come to your page to see Shawn the businessman, Shawn the influencer.
All right, so let's start off with this. A lot of what I do is for the next generation, right? It's also for me, but at the same time, I want kids, you know, black kids to be too specific, but anybody, but specifically black kids to, if you don't have a role model, let me be the role model for you if you don't have one. If you don't have to be a rapper, a trapper, a ball player to be successful, do the things that they do, right? Like, it's not a bragging thing, but like I've seen it, right? I've rode in, you know, private jet, Rolls Royces and things like that. I'm doing these type of things. Like I don't own them yet, but I will soon. But I'm just creating a platform for the next generation to take and really kill it. I want them to see like, okay, you know what? There's people out there that are doing big things. Like I dream big. Like it's all about dreaming big. Like I really do. I have a lot of mentees. I have mentees in college. I have mentees in high school. They call me like even little things like girl problems or like how to what decisions to go, you know, what route to go in the futures. A lot of them don't know what to do. A lot of times your parents think what they think is what's best for you, but it might not be your, you know, your path. Right. So I'm like I do a lot of my influential work for people to see, okay, you know what? He's a great role model and I want to be like that or I want to be better than that, right?
You mentioned mentees, you know, we've been blessed to have, you know, a conglomerate of your brothers, you know, from Miguel to, I'm thinking Reginald and Nick, who you mentioned before we started as your mentee. Speak about that, you know, that relationship.
All right, so one of the greatest things that happened was going to HBCU. If you don't know what an HBCU is, historically black college and universities, right? There are like 100 and I want to say 1 or 107 around that. HBCUs in the U.S. And one great thing about it is a learning about yourself. I'm very big on know thyself, right? That's a big quote I have. Like I was actually thinking about putting that on a mug, right? Because what's on this mug is really what I think and do every day. Know thyself. And in HBCU, you go there and you find out there's a lot of diversity in just black people. You have Africans from all over Africa, right? You have rich, uppity black people. You have hood black people, you have urban community black people, you have country folks, you have city folks. It's all over, and it's learning about myself. Like, okay, there's people like me, but they're doing different things, and I take little pieces from that. And an HBCU was one of the like dopest things ever. So I met a lot of dope people there. I joined a fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and I met a lot of cool people from that. So I had mentors. This is one thing, a lot of people say, hey, why did you join the fraternity? Yeah, you were cool and all that, but it's not even all that. There's a network. This is the one time that you have access to people from every generation, and people don't understand the value in that. If you have access to people in every generation, you can take over because you learn from their mistakes, and you also learn from the things that they're doing that are doing well. You also meet a lot of people in other fraternities. You meet a lot of people that, you know, come to college that want to do that, and that might not be their route. So I met people like Reggie. He brought me into Kappa. Like, he was a big mentor of mine, you know, even though we're not far in age, but, you know, he's older in Kappa than I am, and he's a great brother. You know, having him, we call each other, we talk like, hey bro, how you doing? What's going on? Having a Nick. So Nick came into college. Nick is that's shout out to my little brother. Nick came into college. You know, we were like-minded. You know, I'm older than him, but at the same time, I didn't look down on him. You know, we got cool. I showed him a lot of the ropes, and then he also showed me what he got going on. So it's all about, you know, collaboration. So it was a dope experience going to HBCU. I have so many mentees that hit me up. They hit me up on Instagram. It's dope. Like, you know, if you're going down, if you're down sometime and you go in your DMs and you have somebody just say, hey bro, like, I love what you're doing. Like, continue to do that. Like, that pushes me every day. Or like, I have people that write letters in my DMs and like prayers, like, you know what, I just want the best for you. Like, people I've never met before. Like, I see what you're doing. I don't know exactly what you do, but I'm praying that everything that you do continues to flourish. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't even know you? That's dope.
Man, that's shout out to Reggie, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you flashed the rollie earlier. I just had to I don't know, you know, throwing your business out there, but that's brotherhood right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get a gift like that for a brother. But you know, I would not do my brother I would do him this service and not asking this question. You mentioned the word collaboration as a businessman, you know what I mean? Like, first, do you think about who you're collaborating with, and, you know, getting into business, and what is the importance of collaboration?
Yes,
as a
I
business
do.
person?
I do. With my brand, I want it to look a certain way, so I don't accept everything. A lot of people accept a lot, right? I'm not going to water down my brand. A lot of times you have brands reach out to me like, hey, can you wear this? Can you post this and do this? And it's money, right? Yes, I can always get more money, and everybody needs more money, right? But at the same time, what are you standing for? With my brand, I have it a certain way, so I'm not going to accept everything. You come my way, I look at it and I see if it's something that aligns with the same frequency that I'm on, let's do it. If it's not, it's not, and I don't think twice. Like, I've had some liquor sponsors that it will be dope, right, to the average individual. Like, and it would be dope, but also demographic, right? A lot of times things are different in different demographic. What's hot can be lame somewhere else, and what's hot there can be lame here.
Yeah, facts.
So it's all about, you know, just knowing and just not tainting your brain.
And the power of saying no.
Yeah, the power
I
of saying no.
feel like a lot of people, you know, don't know the power and saying no. Just like, yo, let me do this. Yeah.
I try to do a lot too. Like, I'm the person, like, I want to do everything, but at the same time, I also know how to say no. Yeah.
You're partnered with Oracle, Connoisseur Party. Shout out to Connoisseur Party. We had Bello on the podcast a while ago. Specifically, though, what is your partnership with, you know, the HBCU Buzz and also Black H? I saw it on you. You know, I'm intrigued by that.
Okay, so
what's the details in that?
all right, my old roommate, he's a big entrepreneur. He's in LA right now, in Hollywood. He started HBCU Buzz, an idea, like, you know, from an idea, and now it's the biggest HBCU news platform.
Facts.
A lot of times we build our brands together. So he has a lot going on. I support him. So anything he needs from me, I'm there. With the brand, I've been in the HBCU. I've gone to an HBCU. I've traveled to so many HBCU. So I am also part of, you know, what he has going on with the brand. I'm an ambassador. I travel in behalf of, you know, HBCUs. Right. I collab with different brands like Connoisseur Perry, like they're number one suit maker to me. I wear suits a lot, and majority of them are Connoisseur.
How about with Grownish? I don't know if
Grownish, the show. So they came down to Atlanta, Morehouse, and they did a screening, and we were able to help them out with the screen. We did like a collab on the screen. I don't want to give them the too detailed what we really did, but it's dope.
Yeah, man. Listen, this guy's doing big things, man. I would, you know, say, like, want to close this interview with asking one question that I always ask people, and I don't know if you're ready for this. What are you most curious about right now?
What am I most curious about? What the future holds, right? In so many aspects, right? Like, right now, you see the presidency, you see what's going on in the world.
The second president in a row.
You see what's going on in Cameroon. A lot of people don't know what's going on. There's a civil war going on over there. You see what's going on around the world in the Amazon. It's just a lot, like, going on. You don't know. And then especially, I'm a spiritual person. You know, I grew up in a church and all of that. So reading, you know, a lot of things sound like it's the end time. So you don't know when the end times is gonna happen, but at the same time, you got to live like you have one life to live. So how are you gonna live it?
Man, that's deep, bro. What's the future of Etape water? You know, like, where can people get it? What can we expect?
Coming soon, Amazon. You'll be able to get on Amazon. You'll be able to type in Etape water. You'll see the different products. If you go to etapewater.com, you can see the other things I have on there. I have a mug. I have an iPhone cases right now. I'm working on a few other things that I'm releasing on there soon. I already have, like I said, I have a flask. I have a few other things that I'm going to put on there soon. Pool party September 1st, a big pool party.
Where's that going to be at?
It's in Atlanta. Might be shooting a commercial. There might not be. I don't know. November 9th, I'm doing a big dinner party called it's called Afro Chic. It's going to be more African inspired. I have a chef that has traveled all over Africa, and she's making meals inspired from all over countries in Africa, and she's a dope vegan chef, right? So the food's pretty good too. You know, a lot of times people eat vegan food and they're like,
I ain't really messing with that.
but it's really good. It's gonna be a dope dinner party. I have a lot of events coming up this year. I have something really, really big coming up September, October. So you're gonna be tuning in to something big. I don't want to release it yet, but it's gonna be very big. It's gonna be on the big screen.
Man.
Yeah,
Hey, on the big screen. How can people get in contact with you? Social media, email, whatever. Just you know, what I'm saying, like get that mentee sheet or just a word of advice. So however you want to get in contact with
Okay, if you go on my Instagram, you can email me on there. My Instagram is 5 of diamonds, the number 5 of diamonds with a Z. If you're interested in just the water, the mug, or anything, just the brand, go to Etape Water. You can go to etapewater.com as well. And I'm also working on my personal site, which will be releasing soon. It is going to show more of like the events that I do. If you're looking for event curation, because I also do events. I did a big yacht party with 2 major artists, African artists. I don't want to release the names. I helped with a concert. Just a lot of people reach out to me with things that I never do, but I always say yes, I can do it, and I find a way to do it. Did a music video with another big artist. Waiting on that video to drop. It might not drop, it might, but it was a dope artist. I'm just doing a lot. I'm trying to do a lot. I'm trying to show people that you can't just be boxed in.
Man, I love it, bro. Listen, appreciate you coming through, kicking it with us, man. I've been looking forward to this. You know what I mean? It's been a great conversation. The water, man, I still gotta, hold one of those. Whether it's in the club, whether you gonna slide me that bottle, I don't know.
I got you.
But listen, when you drop on Amazon, definitely will support it, man. Appreciate you coming through, kicking with us, bro. Yeah, man. Listen, if you enjoy what you watch and what you listen, hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, SITM Podcast on all social media platforms. Want to remind you, this episode was sponsored by Perfect Office Solution. Hit them up, let them know we sent you. Get 10% off your lease. The promo code is SITM Podcast. Hey, I'm Flex. Shout out to Achiri in the building. My man Alex, it's his birthday today.
Hey, shout out to Alex. I've known him my whole life. That's a great guy.
Yeah, man.
Continue to bless him, more blessings, more life.
Yeah, man. Alex has been a great help, on this podcast from day one. So I do want to take this time out. Thank you, bro, for everything that you do, man. And we're gonna lit it up tonight. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take a shot of Mata for you. This is Stuck in the Podcast, and we out.
We out.